have to do this. I have to try and raise it.
The bar isn't something that actually lowers, Mr. Cameron.
Le who? The her.
The bar has been lowered to depths we can't even fathom. If anyone can go down there and raise it back, it's me.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
Descending to 1,000 feet. I don't see the bar yet. Looks like it must have sunk pretty low.
We will find some way to add to that. I don't know why. I want more. Want to have a bigger opening.
I like it. I think it works pretty
Yeah.
good.
So yeah, I just got home. I mean, fresh out the shower. You just got home like 10 seconds ago, and
Literally just walked in the door.
talk
my
about it.
friend.
Look at this fresh, delicious look. Regal Cinemas, man.
Whoa!
Oh my God,
How
this
did you get
Rico.
that, blue collar
Oh, look,
loser?
the popcorn right there. I mean, this whole
Oh
thing.
my God, that's a
$5,
lot of
man.
stuff. That must have been
Yeah.
really expensive.
Thank you, God, Regal Cinemas. I have this app, Wes. I've talked about before. It's it's called Unlimited. It's $24.99 a month, and
Oh wow!
your taxes may apply. And also, I found a clip of myself too. I wanted to share it with you because some people would say it, but it is what it is. But yeah, thanks, Regal.
And that's what you're going to sell out for.
Hmm.
I love it. Yes,
yeah.
we are shilling for you, Regal. I
I mean,
want my boy to get a sponsor.
The reason I
So
won't show on my phone for because it comes with a barcode, and God forbid someone takes a screenshot. Say we get 100 views, and I got 100 more people screenshot my
Sure.
fucking barcode, and Regal Cinema's like, yeah,
right.
You live in New York, and you logged in Kansas and California and Texas.
That's weird. Is your thing different than my Regal app? My I don't have the unlimited app, obviously.
Oh yeah, I mean, I just get a
Although-
barcode. I get a barcode you scan with your phone, and I can't show everybody, but you get a
Sure.
barcode, and it tells like your rewards. So like the popcorn, for example, popcorn $2. You scan it for the app for the sodas and shit.
I did use my Regal app and got a free popcorn and a free soda, so
Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. Next, I'm sure you would, you dick. Yeah. So no, like you mentioned, spoilers because there's not too much, but as we always do, I figure we'll break it down, give our rating, and the last 15 minutes talk about spoilers because there is some. And off the bat, I sent you a link with Jeremy Johns because I've always said, Critical Drinker is what I started my channel for. But before Drinker, I always liked Jeremy Johns. And the first thing Jeremy said as I'm watching this film, and you can give your opinion, is that walking into this film, I get the trailer what they're doing, but I would have felt like imagine this film not knowing it's in a trailer, but she's a vampire. But this would have been a lot different of a film not knowing this little bitch is a fucking vampire.
Right, like if it would have been like a reveal, like you thought she was innocent and then she pops off as a vampire.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of like From Dusk Till Dawn, kind of.
100%. Yeah, I mean that would have been a lot different of an experience because as we get into it, everything that's happening, like, it's obviously her because it's the fucking marketing. But it's like there are a bunch of grown-ups being killed by a kid, but not knowing it's her because the first half is basically who done it because no one suspects her because why would you for? That's what made it so fun. That's what sucks. Like as you're seeing people get killed, we know it's her, but the characters don't. But as an audience member, if you didn't know it was her, that would have been a funner time for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's like two types of mystery novels, and it's the kind that are, whodunits and whodunits. So you have the ones where like the killer is revealed right off rip, and then the kind where they are not. So I mean, it just really kind of just depends on, I do read a lot of those. I don't mind it either way. I've noticed that as I've gotten more sophisticated with both reading and writing, that I'm pretty quick to figure out like who is actually the killer because there's like a limited amount of people. So, I mean, I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll just give a basic breakdown of what the film is about in case people didn't see the trailer. But off the bat, we have was it a key friend's name? Giancarlo Esposito, Gus Fring himself, and
Giancarlo Esposito. Yes,
he's one of the actors where I'm not sure if you go through this, but Denzel, I love Denzel, and Denzel hit that level where when I watch his films now, I don't even know his character's name. I just say, hey, Denzel. I just call him every movie except for Equalizer. I just say Denzel. And Giancarlo's like it is what it is, but he'll always be Gus Fring. No matter what he does, it feels like he's just Giancarlo every single role he plays. It's just
he's pretty much pigeonholed in as Gus Fring, is he not? Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Even when he was in Star Wars, he was still like Star Wars version Gus Fring,
Yeah. So the premise is basically so he hires I wouldn't say an elite group, but a group of people to kidnap a 12-year-old girl, and her name is
Mm.
Abigail. And it's pretty interesting off the bat because, again, with the trailers, we know she's a vampire, but these people have to kidnap her. And what do, they pin her down and they inject her in her neck with some, whatever, we're assuming a syringe, some kind of sleep serum, and it knocks her the fuck out. And I'm thinking,
Mm.
okay, again, this is why it would be a better film not knowing she's a vampire, because if she's a vampire, how the hell are they knocking her out with like a sleeper agent?
Yeah. That's definitely a plot hole in it for sure, because I mean, if she's superhuman, then why would that affect her? I mean, I guess you could
Yeah.
hang in the fact that maybe because it affects the blood, and that is her one of her only few weaknesses, that like that would work.
Yeah.
But I'm not really sure. I mean, it's okay. It's not one of those films where you're gonna go into it and start picking it apart, because you can pretty easily.
Yeah, I did catch a couple things. I mean, we'll
Yeah,
get into it, but yeah.
in a few things. And but I mean, if you're looking for just a straight up horror movie on the kind of on the level of, it's kind of a mix between, from if you're asking me vampire movie wise,
Mm.
it's kind of a mix between From Dusk Till Dawn and 30 Days of Night. 30
Okay.
Days only because the vampire element is extremely brutal, and it's not
Yeah.
they're not easy to kill Buffy type vampires, where like
Yeah.
I remember in the group one time somebody said, I said, "What's the worst kind of vampires?" And I gave a list and an example of like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and they're like, "Man, those things are pretty much like wet Kleenex. They're so easy to kill." So I was
Yeah.
like, well, touche, good point. So yeah, they're
Yeah.
brutal. They're devastating.
Would it be fair
Yeah.
to say,
Yeah, go ahead.
I got the vibe when I heard your opinion on this. I think this movie is on the same level of Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness with the comedy and the slapstick and
Uh,
the horror element. Like because there's a lot of dark comedy in this film and a lot of slapstick comedy, I think. But in terms of like, remember, you have a whole group of adults with a kid this big, and she's taking them all out. So it's like I kind of felt like
Sure.
I feel like that was a Deadite vibe of like Bruce Campbell fighting Deadites. I got that vibe with this one where they're taking it like serious, but also in a joking way because of you're fighting off a kid.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, to a degree, I mean, it definitely not story wise, but I mean the
Yeah.
level of campiness and
That's what I'm
stuff
saying.
like that. So yeah.
Yeah, next to me and Lord talks, we go into it, and I'm assuming for him, but like it looked like just what it is. It's like they show a little ballerina girl dancing around. She's like, "Yeah, I like playing with my food," and she's crying like, "I'm sorry for what's about to all happen to like all of you." And like, wait, what? And of course, the stupid reveal is, she's a vampire. But I walked in exactly what I got: a campy horror film, but like it's amazing with the dark comedy. And there was a lot people
Yeah.
in my theater were laughing a lot more than I expected to.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up the narrative a little bit, and I have something to say about that in a minute,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna pick up the narrative. So Giancarlo Esposito's character is, your
Lambert.
basic Lambert. He's the
Mhm.
fixer, and puts this team together. It's 6 individuals, 4 dudes and 2 chicks, and they all seem
Yep.
to have different skill sets and specialties. I'll caveat onto what Jeremy John says. They're all very memorable. They're not just cannon
Yeah.
fodder, even when they are. You can remember who they were. They're very distinct, and they all are. They're all having a lot of fun with their roles. It's
Yes.
basically like The Usual Suspects. They all are very distinct. Even the ones you'll notice a lot of them. I'm going to refer to them as the movies and TV shows that I know them from. You've got Fez from Angus Cloud that just passed away. R.I.P. Angus Cloud. He's their driver. I'm just gonna call him Fez from Euphoria. You got Ant-Man's daughter, and she's the computer hacker that doesn't carry a
Yeah.
weapon or anything like that. You've got the sniper or their Overwatch guy, who is probably the only actor that I don't know who he is. We'll just call him Black Marine. And
Simplify.
Semper Fi. Yeah, Semper Fi Black Marine. You gonna keep showing them as I talk, or no?
Trying to find them because I'm
Oh,
still
okay.
Google here. Yeah.
That's cool. Well, skip them. I mean, it's sorry. We're
We said we
not
both just got home too.
yeah. He's not very memorable anyway. So, and I don't
Yeah.
think he's been in anything else. So who
Yeah.
cares? They got the guy from The Strain, which I thought was a really cool little in joke. I don't know if you caught it or not.
A
But,
couple of them, yeah.
he said, the big Russian guy from The Strain, he actually makes a quip in there. It's about rats, and he's like, "Oh, I hate rats. What are we, a bunch of rats? Why are they calling us rats? Because Giancarlo
he's fat.
Esposito, yeah, Giancarlo Esposito doesn't want them using their real names. Very Reservoir Dogs type touch, which is not actually a bad plan because if one person gets arrested on a heist, he or she could give up the other member. So the less they know about each other, the less able they are to testify against each other. Would be the logic there. So he gives them all names from the Rat Packers thing.
Oh my god, dude! As he's doing that, the fact that two characters like what the hell's a Rat Pack? I'm like, oh my god, me and Wes is so old because the fact that we know these guys know what the fucking Rat Pack is, and
yeah, when you've got like four millennials and then 2 Gen Zs, they're not going to understand a Rat Pack reference.
Yep.
You've got the guy from The Guest and the most recent King Kong Godzilla movie. I don't know his name, but the British actor that always plays an American, and he's basically Dan something Stevens. Is it Dan Stevens? So they're a newly assembled team. They're specifically hired because they don't know each other, but they're all criminals. He's basically the team leader and helps subvert expectations later on in the movie.
Well, basically, like Wes was saying, Nick, they have different skills.
Yeah.
Everyone has, it's like, we have like the big guy, Kevin Durant's the muscle. We have the computer hacker. We have, and everyone's
the driver, the team leader, the sniper, Overwatch, military guy. And last but not least, my future wife, Melissa Barrera, who is now, thanks to her Scream movies and this, I think she could be quite the little Scream queen. And God, she was unbelievably gorgeous in this, as she is always gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what her politics are. I would seriously I would drink a gallon of her pee just to see where it came from. She is so fucking sexy. I've been in love with her for like 3 or 4 years now.
Here's a picture on a premiere.
Yes. Oh God, she's so gorgeous. Anyways, so we get into it. They do the job really quickly and efficiently. Little girl is at her ballerina rehearsal.
Like the first 10 minutes.
First 10 minutes, they grab her up. And I have something to say about that later. They grab her up, they put her inside the car, and they bring them to basically a haunted mansion, for lack of a better word. And for reasons unknown, Giancarlo Esposito takes his leave of the team and says, "Hey, I'm taking your cell phones. You guys got to spend the night in here. And I'm going to contact the father, and he's going to pay us the ransom." And I mean, I guess that kind of speaks to the lack of abilities of all these people, or maybe even the desperation, is the fact that they go for that. Because right away I would have been like, fuck no, I'm not doing that. I'm not sitting here for that shit. That's crazy. But they do. And very soon things start to come unraveled.
Because he does tell them pretty quickly. He's like, the hard part's over. He goes, you have to basically babysit her for 24 hours. I'm going to contact her father and get a ransom of $50 million. That's what we're doing this for. And also, and just sit there, just hang out. And I'm going to okay, why take our cell phones for? Because I don't want anyone tracking you idiots. And like you said, the less you guys know about each other, the better. So you can't, rat each other out. And I'll be back. And just, all you're doing is hanging out. Listen, there's a bar, there's supplies, just hang out. I'll be back with the money. And that's it. Just babysit this kid. And he also establishes too that only one person is allowed to talk to Abigail. For some reason.
Yes, for some reason.
I wonder why.
So here's something that popped in my head right away. Maybe it's my criminal mind. I don't know what you want to call it. I'm certainly not a mathematician. So if you figure that they said they were each getting 7 million, right, out of that 50 million.
Yeah.
Right. 50 divided by 7. Right.
Yeah.
Would be
49.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So were we supposed to believe that Giancarlo Esposito is only taking $1 million?
These are not the smartest people out there.
I mean, that would have been another red flag for me. I mean, you're an ex-criminal, I mean, so each one of these guys was going to get 7 million, and Giancarlo Esposito was only going to get 1.
Sorry, remember, no, the team is 6 people. He's the 7th.
Right, he's the 7th. But if they're each getting 7 million, like they established,
remember
each person's cut is 7 million. 7 and 6 is what?
What's I'm saying? I'm guessing they're factoring him, Lambert, because remember he hired them, so you figure him, him plus 6 people. So with Lambert, there's 7 people, so 7 people and 50 million. I guess that's the math behind it.
Right, but 7 and 7 is like you said, then 49.
Yeah. So there's 1 million left over. And this again, like
So
I said,
where's that one? It doesn't make sense.
these guys aren't. They're just giving a bullshit number anyway.
Well, okay, fair enough. But
about
that's
it, yeah.
another. That was another red flag. I don't get
Yeah.
what's 13.
Like I said, these people aren't the smartest people in the world neither. They just hear $7 million for kidnapping a 12-year-old. Fuck it. That's all they want to know. You know, it's like they're not asking a lot of questions.
I think what this movie does right off the rip, yeah, nice. Good, thank you, RR. Very, very well said. So I think what I liked about this, and tell me, maybe you don't, you know me, I love character development. I will sacrifice plot, special effects, even to a certain degree, acting, if it's got good dialogue and well fleshed out characters. Now, their acting was all great in my opinion. And number two,
yeah.
I liked the early scenes where you have to like set the people up. They're not just like forgettable. I mean, well, they're dumbasses for sure, but
Yeah.
they're not like forgettable cannon fodder dumbass characters. They're, I mean, in fact, they make a running joke that the guy from The Strain, the big muscle guy, is actually just nothing but a big dumb muscle. But he's so kind of charming and endearing with his stupidity. You kind of like him. I liked all of these people.
Yeah,
I thought they were all very believable. I was like, oh shit. So this is going to be, a last man standing type thing.
Listen, next, like in 2024, with the price of gas nowadays, come on, you got to have shit like that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, the last mill is for expenses. Yeah, I guess. All right. Well, fair enough. The last mill is to pay back for setting up the job. All right.
Like you said, dude, I was texting you. I mean, I always have my phone on mute and on low dim.
Yeah.
But the first half, the first act of the film, the first 45 minutes, again, if you didn't know walking into this film, it was a horror film. It's like it changes tones after the first act.
Yeah, I don't see. In this day and age, do you even think that's possible? Do you even think it's possible to have, like back in 1996 when they subverted expectations with From Dusk Till Dawn? That it's like a Quentin Tarantino gangster heist movie that flips a switch halfway through and becomes a vampire, grindhouse type film. But do you but that was 1996, man, where, internet was on a disc. Do you think that's even possible nowadays to have done that without revealing the twist?
Well, I mean, it depends on the marketing, but yeah, but that's my point. Watching this as an audience member, I'm like, wow, this is doing the Quentin thing, the Predator, the however you want to take it. Where we're watching the first almost 45 minutes. There's no indication she's a vampire, no indication supernatural, no indication of horror film. It's just a very simple like Reservoir Dogs, like fucking bank heist. Yeah, a group of 6 people kidnap a kid who's got a very rich father, and that's it, and good to go. So then things do change. Oh shit! Thanks, Richard. Love you, man. Every vampire movie needs shirtless, old up muscle guy playing a saxophone. That's why Lost Boys is supposed to be the best. I mean,
Awesome.
You can't debate that.
So I'll pick it up from you. So since you brought that up, the young girl, Alicia Weir, who I've never heard of before.
Yeah.
She knocked it out of the fucking park, man.
Oh my god.
Like I was very impressed. I guess she's been in 1 or 2 things, but nothing I've ever heard of.
The recent Matilda movie last year, which I didn't see the recent Matilda.
So she's a little Irish actress, another one doing a kicking ass, doing a great American accent. And man, she can switch gears from helpless little I'm in trouble child to be my best friend and look after me into this devious little monster.
Now, I know you probably saw it coming because, I mean, I always joke about me being a drunken fucking idiot, and I am. But even I can tell, as the main character, she's giving away her phone. You notice real quick, she's got a son. And, of course, and only she can go visit Abigail. And Abigail's all like, okay, please, like, untie me and blindfold me. And she's all crying, like, is anyone here going to hurt me? And the whole, like, I'm not going to hurt you. And, because she's the mother and she's automatically relating and bonding to the 12-year-old fucking kid who's the monster. And of course, like, would you pinky promise? Like, no one's gonna hurt me. And I'm like, I wonder if that pinky promise will ever come into later on in the movie.
I get where you're going with that, and I have a good answer for you, but I don't know how heavy we're going into spoilers, so I don't know.
Oh yeah,
do you want to put a pin in it, and I'll tell you why that actually works, or do you want me to do it
I
now?
figure at the end, I'm just saying, like right now we're establishing,
Okay.
like so far in the first
Remind
act,
me,
okay.
and I'll tell you why it works.
Which is
But
something,
go
yeah,
ahead.
because like I mean, even I'm seeing the trope where it's like out of the entire crew, why is only one person bonding with this kid for? The only person bonding with this kid is the mother. And even I'm calling out like, gee, I wonder, we know at some point Abigail's gonna start wiping these crew members out. It's in the fucking trailer. I wonder
Sure.
which character may make it to the end. Gee, the one person who is already a mother, who's got a kid, who's already bonding with Abigail. It's very I don't mind obvious plot points, but yeah, it's like I could see it coming a mile away.
Well, you could also headcanon the fact that she's the most famous actress in the whole group.
Yeah, true.
But I do have another reason, and I will address it
But
at
like
the
you
end
said,
at the end of the video.
Right there, she does a very good job. Like, oh my god, okay, my dad, my father's very dangerous, and please, I'm a scared little 12-year-old girl, and boy, she really sells it. This is the first going into the second act where it's like, yeah, this poor little girl, she's scared, and had I not known by the fucking trailers, I'm like, yeah, what's up? Well, what's happening? Why is this girl so important for her? I'm starting to feel sorry for her.
Is it just me, or does she kind of look like a fucking vampire there? Like she looks kind of evil as fuck right there. I mean, I'm not buying it. I was like, dude, she kind of looks. They do a good job. Like her eyes look black. Is that just me, or
I
don't know
that? Maybe I'll check it again then. Shit. I mean, all right, that's a good call. I mean, I didn't notice it, but maybe you noticed it what I did. But yeah, and as you said, so after that, after she has like a little talk with Abigail, it's just more of these characters getting to know each other. I did like this one scene, and I'm sure you probably liked it as well, where they have this that sit down at the pool table, because I've met people like that. There's some people out there you can just read people, and they give the whole like, hey, here's $100, read everybody in the room. I just like that scene where what's her name, the main character, well, they call her Joey. Joey is just, she's trying to read the crew.
Sure. Yeah. No, that is my favorite scene in the movie. For sure.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so well written, so well acted. And yeah, they do a little like, hey, 2 truths and a lie thing almost.
Yeah.
Which is that's actually how I would have played it. But where they're giving up cash and it's you know why that works, Blue Collar? That works because we don't need exposition dumps. We don't need
exactly. That's like that's the exposition dump without the exposition dump.
Right. Oh, my mother went to the Amazon to study spiders right before she was murdered. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's just like, so they make a game out of her explaining who the people are.
She walks around, she reads the room, but also, and it gives us a little bit more, not too much, but a little bit backstory as characters, that she can read the room, but also we're getting a vibe of that. None of these characters, these aren't really good people neither.
No,
these aren't like average blue collar 9-to-5 people. She can read what these people are, but you also get a hint that, like, well, I mean, off the bat, you guys kidnapped the fucking 12-year-old girl for $50 million. You're not great people, and she can even just read into like how much you're all kind of scumbags, and she's a scumbag too. But she can just read out the different types of scumbags. So we're also getting the feel for like we're not having the muscle, the computer hacker, the sniper. There's a little bit more to it than just being people with a certain set of skills.
Yes, it's definitely Nix. It's definitely a case of show don't tell. They also do a little thing. I'm sorry. They also do a little thing where, Fez from Euphoria's character, kind of, he tries to do the read the room bullshit. And he screws it up. So then you have her do it, so that it shows not only her aptitude, but it shows his ineptitude. But it's also conflict. So it's conflict and resolution. So it's exposition instead of somebody just saying it. Like she had just said, hey, you want me to do a cool trick? I'm going to read the room and tell everybody who they are, even though we don't know each other's names and we've never met before.
Yeah.
But that's not how, it was very organic where he's getting high and going, I'll bet you're yada, yada, yada. And then she comes back with much more slick answers. God, look at her.
Yeah.
God, she's so beautiful. Melissa Barrera, if you hear this, please, whatever you're doing in life, just take a chance on an over the hill Irishman that has. I will treat you so badly. I'm such a piece of shit. Please, I'm really toxic. It's not just a name. I'm not. It's not just a name. I will treat you horribly. Please, just somewhere. I don't think you were wrong at all for free Palestine. I'm kidding. I don't believe in that shit. But if you believe in it, Melissa Barrera, I'm all for it.
Here's a sniper dude right here. But yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. And like the last line of that scene, I just like where she tells like the drunk guy, it's like, okay, you're not professional. He's like, I'm an excellent wheelman. He's like, I didn't say you weren't good, but you're not professional.
Yes, good line. Good
Yeah.
line. Yeah, I never said you weren't good at your job.
Yeah.
I said you weren't professional. Very good line. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
Probably gonna steal it.
Yeah.
So yeah, hashtag
Yeah.
I'm stealing it from my books.
Well,
But yeah,
yeah.
no, it's and you know what else it does? It gives you character develop so we know who it is that we're dealing with. These aren't just random, characters like in the Jigsaw movies where they're, you don't know who the fuck they are. You don't know why should I even care about you. It's that. I like it.
Yeah.
And obviously shortly thereafter, they try to pull a couple jump scares, which I don't really ever care for, but it did. I can tell you this: the jump scares that they do prior to the first death, they do work. They worked on the audience.
Yeah.
I was in a pretty busy theater for 5 o'clock on a average
Yeah.
Thursday. Over here
Yeah.
at my movie theater in Lawrence, Kansas. So,
Yeah.
they had a pretty good, decent crowd,
Yeah.
and most of the jump scares prior to the first death do work.
Yeah.
I thought once it actually gets into it proper, it definitely, in the way that the murders happen, starts to subvert your expectations, because now
Right
they've
there.
given away the fact that she's a vampire,
Yeah.
but they don't give away certain plot points, and there's a big old twist at the
Yeah.
end. So yeah, man,
Well, yeah. And
I was
say
digging
like,
it.
I would say like, okay, initially, like we're saying next. Wait, world and character building. Are you guys sure this is a new movie?
Yeah, I know,
Yeah.
right? I know.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's not a spoiler because it's the fucking film, but like that's basically the first and kind of leading to the second act. And obviously, okay, one at a time, certain people are getting fucking picked off. But again, I found the fun in it that we obviously fucking know it's her, but the characters don't know. And I just goddamn, I wish I didn't know it was her, because what makes the fun of it is when the first person dies, everyone's like, the first guy gets fucking decapitated.
Yeah.
And it's like, and everyone's like, who decapitated it? And of course, what was it? Yeah, the girl from Ant-Man. She's the one who discovers the body, and they're like, okay, what happened to this guy's body? And she's like, what, you think I could fucking do that? Look at me. I'm not that powerful.
As
And,
another thing I'd like to point out, as dumb as a lot of the decisions the characters do,
Yeah.
one thing I like is that they take their situation. Maybe it's because they're criminals and they're not, as Jeremy John says, they're not a bunch of firefighters or good guys or teenagers that are out in
Yeah.
the woods or whatever. Maybe because they're criminals, and criminals, as you and I both know, will go to the basest element. Like, you throw a criminal in prison, someone who's a career felon, they don't sit there and try to like protest their innocence to other people or the guards, or they accept their situation and start trying to figure out
Yeah.
ways to survive. And that's exactly what all of these people do. They as soon as they realize, even before they realize exactly what it is that's happening, and they find the first dead body, they don't right away know what's going on. They attribute it, of course, to like a gangland hit. They think maybe it's the rich father who
Yep.
it's revealed as a Kaiser Soze type,
Yeah.
super villain.
Mhm.
And they make good decisions. They're like, let's just fucking leave. We got to go. Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
And they realize even further when they start to realize their situation, they start making good decisions. They don't, you
Yeah.
don't have a bunch of people going, vampires aren't real, and then stupid deaths happen because of it. They go, okay, the guns aren't working, this isn't working.
Yeah.
What will work? Let's make this work.
Yeah, it's not even, I mean, obviously it's a big spoiler, but pretty early on, after somebody dies, let's get the fuck out of here. And Abigail's like, oh guys, save me. And I mean, she just, at this point, she's done playing with her food, because she does her own reveal. Hey, guess what? I'm a fucking vampire. And we're all looking over like, what the fuck? Like, because they weren't expecting it. And as you said, and we have to get into the vampire lore, but they wound up shooting her multiple times, and you're just pissing her off. Like, oh shit, guns aren't working. Let's get the fuck out of here.
she's definitely a 30 Days of Night vampire. It's not, she's not a Buffy vampire. She's not even a Blade vampire. She's it's bullets don't do a whole fucking lot. It doesn't even really stun her for very long. So it doesn't do a whole lot to her. So really, in that way, she's even worse than a From Dusk Till Dawn vampire.
Yeah, because and this is, it's probably part of trailer, but also found a picture. They fucking shoot her in her head, and she just basically smiles. Like, And you're
Yeah.
like, oh fuck. So what they do? They run
Yeah.
away and you have to regroup. And it's in the trailer. I did like the comedy aspect because, of course, like you said, the girl from Ant-Man. All right, vampires. What do we know about them? Okay, which one? Twilight vampires, 30 Days a Night vampires, Lost Boys
Yeah.
vampires. All right,
Yeah.
it's like, but it is in the own lore because remember, vampires now at this point, they're so vast where it depends on the lore. Sometimes stakes hurt them,
Right.
sometimes a cross hurts
Yeah.
them. It depends on,
Yeah.
and I still like the
Eh,
fucking line, the line right
hell.
there.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I said, with the fucking cop, right? Remember, he tells the fucking the one chick, he's okay, garlic. Go get garlic. She comes back. I
Oh
got it.
yeah.
He's like, I got it. She comes back with a whole fucking bag of onions. He's like, those are fucking onions.
Yeah.
Everyone in the audience laughed their ass off.
Yeah, they have some good moments. Yeah, my audience laughed at that
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, that's a good point, man. So like if you're in a situation where there actually was vampires,
Yeah.
you might, just because of so many different vampire lores, you might not know what to do with them. I mean, it only seems the only consistent one, is sunlight, unless they're, Twilight
100%.
sparkly vampires.
Yeah.
So, that seems to be the
But,
only
and I even like that joke.
consistency.
I like that joke too. She mentioned what about Twilight vampires? Like, oh shit, because even then they have no fucking weaknesses.
Right. Yeah.
The bullshit
Well,
franchise.
yes, they do. Kristen Stewart is a
Yeah.
is a Twilight weakness,
That's true.
as
Yeah.
as we know, not
Yeah.
only to the people in it, but also to the franchise.
Yeah, this is basically the scene right here. I could have found it. They're all regrouping and yeah. But yeah, and Kevin Durant's character is just like he doesn't want to believe it. I don't care. And the guy fucking basically grabs by his throat. He goes, listen, dude, yeah, we're in a situation. I don't care whether you believe vampires, don't believe vampires. That's a fucking vampire, okay?
Yeah.
And I like the whole grounded for realism because that happens with certain movies, even from Dusk Till Dawn. Initially, they first didn't want to admit that the vampires, like, okay, and George Clooney's like, no, whether we want to believe it or not, they're out there. And of course,
Yeah.
and Clooney has almost the same scene like this. Okay, what do we know about them? What are the weaknesses? What kind of weapons do we have? Obviously, the handguns aren't fucking working. And what's
Nope.
this guy, dude? The ex-cop there. Okay, well, there's a pool table. Go grab some fucking pool cues and sharpen that shit up because we need some kind
Right.
of weapon to fight her.
Right. Yeah,
Um,
no, very, very well done. I liked it. It's extremely gory. I usually don't really dig a lot of gore. I won't lie. If it's in the
Yeah.
service of the plot, but like excessive
Hmm.
gore doesn't do a lot for me. I mean, it doesn't cringe me out or nothing like that, but I'm not like, oh, cool. That's like from Dusk Till Dawn level of
Yeah.
grossness. I only like it because I love the movie, but
Yeah, Wes.
the stuff that has happened in that move, that all the gooey stuff, I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. They don't really go that hard, but when there is a lot of blood and there is a lot of stuff, it's big when it happens.
Yeah, I found the bag of onions right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do like, and I guess before we get into too much spoiler territory in a sense, but we have the understanding, and I guess it's well after they try killing her that when they first meet her again and she's dancing around, every time they try taking her on, she is just easily fucking with these guys. Like at any point she could easily
Yeah.
wipe them all out, and she's playing with her food, which I think
Yeah.
makes it fun because also if we establish the fact that she's that powerful, the film will be over in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much established that this is her fun. This is a ritual that happens
Mm,
pretty often. Maybe not always in this way, but
yeah.
usually something happens where, there are other instances where like she has gotten college kids in there or maybe they've gotten teenage runaways or a bunch of drug addicts. Who knows? But whatever
Yeah.
the reason is, this is something that this is like her only entertainment, because really what is she going to do?
Yeah.
Is she's a 200-year-old vampire. Is she going to get on
Yeah.
TikTok? I mean maybe, but at the end of the day, she's just yeah.
I don't think they overused it next. I think because especially because it's her. That's also the thing is it's
Yeah.
jump scares for me. Like it's not that like you kind of know they're coming. The thing is it's her. So it's not like there's
Yeah.
a fucking
If
world
you're a
jumping out
jaded
there.
if you're a jaded movie person like we all are, they're really not going to work on you very much. But if you
Yeah.
brought a date to the theater, she'd probably jump in your lap a little bit. So, hey, score on that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, but like I said, so we established fact is yeah, this isn't her first rodeo. She's definitely done this shit
Oh
before.
no. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's having a lot of fun. And so is the actress Alicia Weir is having a lot of fun. She's
Yeah.
doing amazing. I mean, she's obviously I'm assuming it's special effects and a body double and stunt double doing some of the really hardcore ballerina shit. But I mean, as opposed to just having a vampire that flies at you and jumps at you, which is scary enough as it is, having one prance around doing all this weirdo ballerina shit before she gets you, I mean, that shit makes it even scarier.
Yeah. So bring food. I mean, date to the movie. Got it. Yeah. I mean, in terms of plot, I mean, besides I guess getting to spoilers, there's not much else to say because once it's established she's the vampire and she's trying to kill them, it's just a matter of these guys getting the fuck out of the house because it's like
Yeah.
they're locked into the house. They also established, yeah, Giancarlo Esposito character, Lester, he trapped them all in his house because it was they're there to be her
Spoiler!
food,
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
I mean, I don't. In terms of plot, there's not much else to really talk about because there's not
Yeah,
much.
it's six strangers stuck in a haunted house with a monster. Basically, that's
Pretty
that's your
much.
basic
Yeah.
plot. There is a bit of a twist near the end, maybe even a double twist, really. And maybe we'll keep that to ourselves.
Yeah.
What do you think? Do you want to keep the double twist to ourselves?
I mean, like I said, I always make it where after we rate the movie, we'll just talk about the end, like spoilers, because we'll break down if we liked them or didn't like them. But in case
Okay.
people want to tune out, but as I'm struggling to kind of like break down any more of the plot besides what we've already gave away. Because
There's not much more. I mean, there's some interesting reveals.
Yeah,
There's a great scene. Alicia Weir, she, no pun intended, chews up the scenery, where
Yeah.
they do manage to rally, they do manage to trap her, and she gets to do a little Hannibal Lecter thing, getting in their heads.
yeah,
We find out more about the characters. We find out Dan Stevens' character it was a dirty cop. And in sort of usual suspects fashion, they've all angered her father, the Kaiser Soze mob boss, in some way or another. We find out Melissa Barrera's character is a former army medic, got injured, got hooked on morphine, has recently gotten clean, but she's struggling, and of course,
yeah,
because she lost her son while she was a junkie, she's decided that she's gonna do the score so she can get money to get him
Yeah.
back. So,
yeah. She's good in the entire film. I think for me, her best scene in the entire film, and I guess you might agree with it too, is right here when they have her, give an exposition dump, and they kind of
Yeah.
basically, it said they have her temporarily trapped. We'll say that, but it's just more backstory. And yeah, like I said, she goes from like being freaky vampire to innocent little girl, and just breaking down like why she does what she does for. She's and just her acting, she really carries that scene of just like she's taunting.
She's the best actress in the film. So I'm glad they didn't make her a two-dimensional monster. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I mean, you can, I don't really watch the Nun movies or the little weirdo doll movies and stuff like that.
Oh, Annabelle,
There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, everybody's acting is really well. I mean, really, Giancarlo Esposito is probably the least memorable acting in the whole thing. I feel like they just got him in there because of his name more than anything else. Maybe there's a bunch of scenes with Giancarlo Esposito on the cutting room floor. I really don't know. But I don't know what you think, Blue Collar. I really think he did much in this.
I mean, no, he's only in the film, and I'm a big spoiler. He's in it for 6 minutes, maybe. He's not, like
maybe even that,
even in the trailer. No, hands down. I mean, no, everyone does a good job. Just that some characters are just like, the big dude, Kevin Durant's, he's just a muscle bound idiot, The one guy,
but he was a good actor. And
I'm saying,
I believed
in
him in the
terms of.
part.
Well, no, I'm saying, but in terms of character development, like nobody really has a lot to do except for her. Like Abigail's the one she's damn sure carrying the film.
Sure.
In terms of character development, but also she's she's been around for a long time, and she's considering she's basically like fucking whatever, she's like hundreds of years old, but she's trapped in his body. So she's not a 12-year-old, she looks like one.
Right. Yeah. It's
that could have been
those,
mix. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think. I think they got him just to boost the movie, but a quick, easy paycheck for him, no biggie. I have just recently saw Giancarlo Esposito in a HBO TV series called Jet, where he was, tragically underused in that too. So I'm kind of, it doesn't really bother me all that much. But yeah, the little Abigail girl, Alicia Weir, she can switch effortlessly from vulnerable to deadly and back and forth, and it surprisingly happens more than just the big reveal. Like she does it a couple different times. It's pretty good. Child actors are they're very hit or miss. You're either going to get somebody like her that's stellar and can knock it out of the park,
Yeah.
or you get somebody that's like terrible, like the kid that played Rick Grimes' son on the series finale of Walking Dead reboot. So it's
Oh
just
yeah.
like, you never know what you're going to get. But for her,
Yeah.
I think she's going to do some big stuff, man. She's
And
really good.
I do like small things. I mean, you see a picture right here, but it's just they're in a house trapped with her, and they're running, locking the door. Okay, we're pretty good. She's
Yeah.
she's behind a door, and this kid, she's not human. she can
Yeah.
she
They
can and
do,
does.
yeah.
Yeah.
These criminals do accept their situation pretty quick, and they do make some decent choices to try to defend themselves. But
Yeah.
they really don't grasp the reality of what a vampire could actually do.
Yeah,
A lot of the times, they definitely underestimate her strength and her speed, and I
definitely.
mean, the things can damn near fly.
Yeah.
It's definitely it's like 30 Days of Night vampire cranked up to 11. So, yeah, no, it's and on top of that, they're stuck in this death trap haunted mansion.
Yeah,
So,
really. It's true.
yeah, it was Kevin McAllister was a little girl and he was a vampire. Yes, it'd be a very
Pretty
good
much.
Home Alone sequel.
Can't say more.
So,
Pictures.
but yeah, no, I don't know. I don't really. I have a couple nitpicks. I'll let you get. You
Okay.
have some nitpicks you want to hit him with? I
Not
have a
really.
couple. I have a couple.
Why? Is this the worst sequel?
Yeah, it's female Kevin McAllister and a bunch of thieves. Yeah, basically.
Let's say, is it leading to girl boss tropes? No, because the thing is, you can establish the fact that she can take on a guy the size of Kevin Durant. Like, to make a joke once, he's like,
Right.
you're 270 pounds of dead weight, but also she's
Right.
not human, so you can
Right.
go with
Yeah,
that.
she's
So
not a girl, but yeah, right. She's supernatural.
also,
So
but
that
also she
yeah.
does get hurt though in certain situations, and it's like like Wes was saying, they definitely underestimate her power, but a couple times she also kind of overplays her hand, which is that's kind of like
Yeah,
that's kind of the third act
times
too.
when she should have killed people, she doesn't. But it's explained away. It's not always a plot armor thing, although
Yeah,
that will lead into my nitpicks. But I don't. Before I nitpick, I wanted to give you
yeah.
a chance, Blue Collar, if you
No,
had any.
I mean that's why it's smart though to make a because you can make it, and that's the tone I felt like with Evil Dead. It's like the fucking lunacy of having a 12-year-old girl be able to like take on these grown men, but also she's not human. So it's like
Right.
if you have like a Deadite was attacking Bruce Campbell half his size, it's a Deadite. So like
Yeah.
if his hand's kicking the shit out of him, it's for comedy.
Right.
So some of her
Yeah.
takedowns with these guys, it's funny as hell because of how insane it is, but also it does fit the vampire lore. So I was fine with that. But
Yeah.
honestly, no, my own nitpicks are like maybe small things because it's like, I guess not too big of a spoiler, but like you're inside of a house, if you're inside
Okay.
of a house and she wants to trap these guys and she wants to eat them, I would do
Uh-huh.
things like, why would you have windows, like open windows that may
Okay.
have access to like
Okay.
may have access to say sunlight. You think that
Yeah.
if you were trapping people in a house basically for food, you would her only real I mean vampires' weaknesses are fucking sunlight. So you would board up
Okay.
all kinds of like ways to hurt her. But
Yeah.
that's pretty much it. I think it's a pretty straightforward story for the most part.
Okay. Okay. I've got a couple, the little writerific mind of mine. I as much as I like the dialogue and as much as I like a lot of the stuff, it doesn't, it doesn't. There's some stuff where it's like I don't think the characters would react or act in the ways that they do. I don't believe that a group of even not quite professional criminals would just do the score and just wait on their handler to go do this stuff and just sit there with no means of communication, no means of really even protecting themselves. Because I mean, they're all locked in like it's a life sentence. Kidnapping carries a life sentence, so they're all just gonna, assuming that everything was normal, they're all just gonna just sit in that one place. What if their handler got busted and then just gave up the location? Then they're all just stuck and screwed in there. They make a big deal about don't let her see our faces, which makes sense. But then the fucking dude who's supposed to be the smartest dude, Dan Stevens, just walks in the room with nothing covering his face. And now, of course, he didn't know the blindfold was taken off, but that doesn't mean anything. Like, why would he have done that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't, maybe there's a reason why
Jeez.
yeah, we'll get to those questions in a second. Just bear with me for just a
Yeah.
second, Nick. I guess there might be some technical reason why this sedative would work on the vampire, but assuming that
Yeah.
they thought they were giving a sedative to a 12-year-old little 80-pound girl.
Yeah.
They didn't know they were giving it to a vampire. So
Mhm.
I was hoping that it was just the vampire was faking it and pretending to be out, which actually gets brought up by Dan Stevens, because when they go to use their second sedative as almost a weapon to get her locked up, she's like, well, this is the one thing we know that works. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, but if it works, why would a sedative that, because if they were using a sedative that would have knocked out a superhuman vampire, it would kill a little 12-year-old girl, wouldn't it? It's not like
Yeah.
they were like, it's not like they had like, I would have just written it in like they had like 6 or 7 sedatives just in case they needed them, and she
Yeah.
put all of them into one. And they established that
Okay.
Melissa Barrera's character is an army medic. That's how I would have wrote it. Or I would have written it the other way, which is that the girl was just pretending to go down with the sedative in order
Yeah.
to lure them in. But
Yeah.
yeah, those are my small nitpicks. My big nitpick is, and I love her to death, but man, Melissa Barrera's fucking plot armor is strong as fuck, man. And it's not even just the whole pinky promise. And she's gonna. And
Yeah.
by the way, since we're at that point, I will remind you. I was gonna tell you why. So the reason they want one person only to be her caretaker, but they use a criminal who is also a medic. So if they have a medical problem and she's a female, she's gonna have a better rapport with the victim. So, but
how much human biology still applies. You need to convey that somehow in the world. Well, it's one thing, Jay, because basically it's being set up that, well, it's a setup. So, because if these characters are being basically Abigail's food and she's fucking choosing these people for whatever reason, I guess it's like if she basically it's being orchestrated for them. So I guess they had to make it like it's just part of the game for her,
Yeah, but then why would it work later when they need it? They should have had a thing where they had like 5 or 6 sedatives, and she put all of them in one syringe, or each of them had a sedative, and they're like, "Hey, we got to hit her all at once."
They say that initially because when they first kidnap her in the beginning of the film, like I said, when the first 5 minutes, when they knock her out, at one point they do say like, "Hey, was she faking it?" And she's like, "No, she wasn't faking it. She's actually was knocked out." So
yeah, but see, that doesn't really work either, because if she's a vampire, her vitals are not going to be the same as a regular person.
Yeah, true.
In fact, would she even be breathing? Vampires don't need to breathe. That's not really established. It's a small plot hole. I mean, it's a goofy movie in a lot of ways. Stuff's really over the top. So, there's that. But Melissa Barrera, there, near the end of the movie, and I won't reveal the other twist, but she's really getting fucking thrown around like a rag doll. And not only that, she suffers some almost catastrophic damage. And at the end of the movie, she's covered in blood, but she seems to be fairly okay. I mean, I don't know, man. Melissa Barrera, I'm sure she's tough. She's a former drug addict and she's a former army medic. I'm sure she's tough. But I mean, if you're going to say anything about girl boss, that was a little too girl bossy for me, because, she's just getting knocked the fuck around like crazy amounts. She's getting thrown into walls. She's getting thrown upstairs. She's getting, impaled. God, Melissa Barrera getting impaled. Anyway, sorry, I lost my train of thought. But yeah, it's it's that bothers me a little bit, and it's the last minute entry of the dad, the Kaiser Soze character. That just seemed, they could have just done without that.
Yeah, I figured we're pretty much at enough time now. We can just give our ratings, and then we'll just talk about spoilers for 10 minutes because I mean, we kind of dragged out for 15 minutes, and there's just nothing more to talk about, I think, plot wise.
Yeah. All right, go for it, my friend.
But no, overall,
are you gonna pull up the questions or what?
I keep forgetting I have this too. Thank God you're here to remind me this shit.
I mean, yeah, well, that's what I'm here for, my brother.
Let's see.
Blue Collar has his own questions that he likes to ask his audience when he sees a film.
I should have this stuff ahead of time too.
Yeah.
Background. It's almost like you just got home and I wasn't planning on this shit.
Almost like it. Like it.
But it's loading up. Let's see. Here we go. Of course, it's in the background.
All right.
Damn it.
All right, little technical difficulties, but we do have some questions that we always ask ourselves with a movie, and we like to ask it of the audience as well. So while he's loading that up, I'd just like to remind everybody that the Regal Unlimited app is only how much a month, Blue Collar?
It's $24.99 a month.
$24.99 a month, and you get unlimited access to as many movies as you would like to watch in Regal Cinema. Please ignore the Shogun right there. We're just throwing a little bit of the curveball for you. And I believe you also get Regal rewards with that as well. Do you not, Blue Collar?
Yeah, you get points and sometimes free popcorn, free sodas, things like that. It's awesome.
I got to tell you, if I pick up this new security contract on the 1st, you have convinced me, Blue Collar, I will get the Regal app myself.
Jay. Oh no, did like it. No, I think for what it is, I had a ton of fun with it. There's a lot of dark comedy. I actually did like it a lot because of what it represented. And some of these characters are fucking stupid, but because of what they are. And I did like the fact that, this character, it's just like the absurdity of her taking these guys out, but also she's a vampire. And it's a very paper thin plot in a sense, but just a good time. I mean, I don't know. I just like you were saying, Wes, in the beginning, the first act, I liked the whole tonal shift from being like a very serious, almost Reservoir Dogs film. Now it's a fucking horror film, but it didn't feel like the horror scenes were too over the top. They felt like they fit in the world of vampires. I mean, vampires are weak against stakes, they're weak against sunlight, and establishing what she's weak against, but also why she's doing this for, and she's doing it because she can, basically. But also even we'll get into spoilers after we're done, but there's also a reason why she's doing this for as well, because she's not just killing these people for food, because I mean it is a game for her in a sense, but also there is a motivation of why she's killing these people. So how do you feel?
Okay, so I'll pick it. Did I like it? Yes, I definitely liked it. I've been pleasantly surprised by a lot of things in 2024, and this is another one of them. I kind of thought I would like it regardless. And yeah, I'm a big old simp for Melissa Barrera, I'm not going to lie. But you know what? I think she's a quality actress, and I thought that everybody really did a good job. I've not really cared for Ant-Man's daughter up to now, but I thought she was pretty good in this. And I definitely was very surprised by this Alicia Weir person, and I thought she did really good. I stick to what I say earlier. I think she's going to have a big career. Yes, I'm a simp for Melissa Barrera. Yeah, so go ahead. Number 2.
Yeah, couple good shots with her in a low cut shirt, so I wasn't complaining.
Yes. Oh,
yeah.
yes, there is.
Definitely. No, I definitely would recommend it, but also it's like going into this film. Number one, it's a horror film, and you understand the premise. It's a fucking 12-year-old girl with dancing around like a ballerina, picking off people. If you take it as seriously as an Evil Dead film or Army of Darkness or Ash vs. Evil Dead, that's the tone I got from this film, and that's all I can pretty much say. So I recommend it, but it's not a super serious horror film. To me, it's a horror comedy. I mean, that was the one, because because I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more. A couple scenes like I'm laughing, like you said. One point she's grabbing a guy by the fucking leg. Oh my god, she's flying! He's freaking out, and just some of the scenes, like with the garlic scene. The guy Kevin Durant, and he had like a lot of comical scenes, being the stupid muscle guy, muscle butt, and I was intrigued by like I said, the scene when she's trapped inside the cage and her giving the exposition, she's breaking apart each one of these characters. Like, yeah, all you people, I'm a vampire, I murder people, but you're all pieces of shit in your own right too. You're all fucked up. And she gives them reasons. Like, also, it's like these weren't just like 6 random people. You were chosen.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very Usual Suspects, Kaiser Soze type. You all stole from my father in some way or another, or did something to disrespect him, so now you got to pay. Yeah, would I recommend it? Yeah, I'll recommend this as hard as I possibly can to anybody. I realize that not everybody likes going to the movie theater. I get it; it's expensive. But you know what? If you're going out on a date and you're just like horror movies or a combination of the two, I definitely think it's worth it. If you're not willing to do either one of those things, I would recommend it as soon as you get a chance to watch it, whether it be streaming, rental, whatever you got.
Yeah.
I would definitely do it. But I think it's worth seeing in the theater, and I think that you should. I think you should go do it.
I would say, like you were saying, Wes, if you have a date, bring a date on a Friday night.
Great date night movie. Yeah, great date night movie.
If you're like me and have no friends or family or girlfriend, want to go solo, I think it's a very fun matinee film. I mean, this I would highly recommend a matinee movie. And yes, if you and me, we watch other people. Jeremy Jahns, I like Jeremy Jahns. Jeremy Jahns gave a good recommendation. And He even said buy it on Blu-ray, but for what it is, I did damn sure think this is worth we're checking out in theaters. But like I said, money's money. Not everybody wants to go see a theater to
Yeah.
a theater. Maybe check it out like on Redbox or like iTunes or something. Give it a rental. But for me, it's damn sure a matinee movie if you're
Yeah.
going solo.
Yeah. Or get the Regal app.
Oh yeah, I want.
So number 3.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. Should you spend your hard-earned money? So that's just like my money would be for a matinee, but it's damn sure, like you said, Wes, I'll go with you. It's a good date night movie for what it is, and I think a lot of women are gonna have fun with her acting and just the absurdity of this little vampire girl wiping out a whole team of people.
Yeah. Yeah. Should you spend your hard-earned money? I mean, yeah, I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I do also have the Regal app. I have the
Make her pay for
lower.
it, Wes.
Yeah, I have the lower Regal app, but I do supplement it by using. I still flash my military ID, so they take an
Yeah.
extra $1 off. And like I said before, even with my low-level Regal app, I don't have the Regal Unlimited app. Even with that, I was able to get a free popcorn and soda. And so all I wound up paying for was my discounted ticket and a slushie because I was
Yeah.
thirsty.
Awesome.
But yeah, it's definitely something that I would definitely recommend.
All right, yeah. So we always do. I have to bug Enzo about getting a bar system. So we always say like,
Yes.
this is us lowering the bar, but the bar
Right.
above it, lower it. But for me, it damn sure didn't raise the bar. It's not nothing new in a sense because it's a vampire tale. It's not going
Yeah.
to change the genre, but also it was a fun time. So I would
Yeah.
say like it's a little bit, in terms of like at the bar, it's a little bit above the bar because it's a horror comedy. But again, it's
Mhm.
just like you're not going to walk in here. You're not walking into this film expecting like these guys changing the vampire lore. It's just a
Sure.
stupid, simple film. But the premise is you're having fun because it's a 12-year-old girl and she does carry the goddamn film. She's got some great
Yeah.
lines of dialogue. I looked up in real life too. She just turned 14, so I'm assuming.
Oh, wow.
So she probably filmed this last year. These kind of lines and her, like Wes, you're saying, her dialogue change and her mannerisms going from monster to innocent, sweet little kid. She was 13 filming this movie, so
Yeah.
that's fucking impressive for her
Yeah.
age because she does not like. A couple times I'm thinking, like, is this girl like 17 or 18 or something? And
Yeah.
no, she's only 14 in real life. That's
Yeah.
that's hard to do, man.
Yeah. I'm gonna put my bar a little higher than yours. My big thing is rewatchability. I'll probably rewatch this at some point, but
I'd be fine with that, yeah.
yeah, I would not I would not rewatch this as much as I've rewatched Interview with the Vampire, Queen of the Damned, and of course
No.
From Dusk Till Dawn, 30 Days of Night. It's not on those levels as far as vampire movies. But it's definitely something I will pop in again. I won't go to the theater again and see it. But you know what? I'll add a little bit of extra simplified to my already simplified statement to say I will pretty much watch anything Melissa Barrera is in. As soon as I fell in love with her a couple years ago, I went and looked up her old Telemundo show and watched that, and I fucking loved it. Just because I mean I'll watch her do anything. So yeah, man. It's my bar's a little higher than yours, but only maybe just because
And-
Melissa Barrera.
It's also the first weekend, but I mean, for what it's worth, Rotten Tomatoes, I mean, hey, 85%, Google 94%. Budget was only 28 million, and
Yeah.
that's really fucking smart because we said that shit this year. A lot of more lower budget films, lower budget horror films. Keep this budget small. If this does like say over the weekend 30 million, they already made their fucking budget back.
Yeah, and also not a long movie either. They don't draw it out. It's a very simple plot, and they don't draw it out. And I wasn't bored. I wasn't tired. I mean, if I had any complaints, I would say that there was way too many trailers. But I don't think that I can't blame the movie for that. That's the distribution company. The trailers and the pre-show shit. Really, I think I texted you when the movie proper actually started.
Yeah.
And it was fuck, man. That shit's getting out of hand. But I mean, I can't blame. I can't fault the movie for that. So yeah, there was a lot. I actually kind of dozed off a little bit with all the pre-show and then the trailer thing. But when the movie started, I was rocking and rolling. But yeah, that's and I like that. I think it's a good, simple, easy watch. It's a good date night movie, and I liked it.
Yeah, and I guess the director, to my knowledge, these people are the same guys who did Ready or Not, which I thought Ready or Not was pretty fun.
I did also like it's kind of similar to Ready or
That's
Not
what I'm saying,
in some
yeah.
ways.
It feels very
the mansion. Yeah, it's in the mansion, and you got the one protagonist, and in a way, it's like it's kind of an inverse of Ready or Not.
Yeah.
In a way,
But
I guess you could argue.
yeah, after hearing this was the same people that brought you Ready or Not, it didn't surprise me at all.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
fair
Cool.
enough.
Oh yeah, we're seeing Jay. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it depends on how much marketing they're doing nowadays. Remember, because the smaller indie studios aren't dumping that much money on marketing. It's always like the Marvel
Yeah.
and DCs. I mean, we'll find out overall, but I don't know. We'll see because it depends on how much they want to market the shit now.
Yeah.
So I mean,
If they
time will
left it
tell.
open where they could make a series with this, and I'd be up for that.
Yeah.
I'd be,
All right.
I could go for that.
All right, cool. So we passed the 1 hour mark, and what we said, Deb, she want to ask you a question about spoilers. I mean, I know Nix and Jay are probably watching. Anybody else, like, we're done in terms of the plot and everything. A couple spoilers, but we'll get into it now because I don't want to, drag out too long. But there is
Final warning.
Yeah.
Final warning, everybody.
Yeah, I think
You've
some
heard
kinda-
our review. You don't want to hear the spoilers.
next.
Click off now, and God bless you.
Yeah, I mean, next time I'll dim you with some kind of like spoiler warning button.
Yeah.
But break it down. But yeah. So any spoilers you want to talk about? Because I mean, I think
I did like that they subverted it by switching Abigail from the main antagonist into Dan Stevens' character after he gets bit or allowed
Yeah.
to be bit. And I also liked that they had the Ant-Man's daughter gets bit, and she so I guess
Yeah.
with this vampire lore, if you get bit, you will turn, but it's not instantaneous.
Yeah.
And then you become sort of a puppet of the person who turned you.
Exactly.
Which
Which a lot
so
of Vampire Lord does that too.
yeah, a lot of vampire lore does that.
Yeah.
And then you can be properly turned into a full vampire if they bite you and then you
Yeah.
drink some of the vampire's blood, which is also
Yeah.
pretty canonical as far as that. So yeah, Dan Stevens, not a sympathetic character throughout the movie, and then really cranks it up to 11 and becomes the villain near the end. So
Yeah.
I kind of didn't see that coming. I did not
No.
expect that. So I was a little
Also-
surprised.
Yeah, and also it said so it's almost to the point where it felt like she's picking these people out, and come to find out this motherfucker, I didn't think he'd be a vampire neither. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah,
And-
he's more of a vampire puppet though too
Yeah.
for Abigail in a way because he's doing her bidding.
yeah,
But because he's Giancarlo Esposito,
Yep.
he wants to kind of take her out.
yeah.
So
And
yeah,
He even says too, he's like, okay, but of course his puppeteering is he wants to turn the other guy, and then it's like basically have the two of them take over or Abigail and kill her.
yeah. So yeah, it's and then you basically last man standing. It winds up being Dan Stevens against Melissa Barrera's character and Abigail, who's weakened and been hurt and
Yeah.
drained. So now it becomes kind of a 2-on-1 thing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's interesting. Again, though, I have to revert back to my nitpick when Dan Stevens is throwing her around and impaling her and fucking her up. I'm just like, dude, how much damage is she possibly going to take?
Yeah, see,
And
yeah.
go ahead.
No, see, I wonder like how much, like he wasn't like, I got the feeling of he could have one-shotted her, but he was again playing with her food because at one point, she's getting away and he fucks up Abigail. She's about to die, and what she do? She calls her kid, which I thought her calling her kid was a pretty good moment. Just her leaving.
That was a great moment. Yeah,
message.
that was great.
And
That was excellent.
Yeah, and because at one point, remember,
I
when
thought
he's-
I thought it might have been like a true horror movie, and
Yeah.
she might have gotten killed.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. First, I thought Abigail was gonna die, but then as he's walking towards her, remember one point he throws her away, and she goes, "Why don't you kill me right now?" And he goes, "Kill you? Where the hell's the fun in that?" So I got the fact that he
Yeah.
could have killed her, but he just like Abigail, he's having fun fucking with her,
But
and
when she calls her kid, I actually did think maybe she's gonna die in this and
Yeah.
just take him down with her. But
yeah,
no, and then when she got bit, I was like, oh shit, because Melissa Barrera gets bit, but I guess the
Yeah.
loophole is if you kill the person that bites you before you drink blood. And that's been in a few
Exactly.
things. I think that's a Fright Night trope, if I'm remembering correctly.
yeah, because most
yeah,
vampire
but-
lords, you have to fucking drink from your master. Like they always seem to slit
Right.
their fucking slit right here to make you drink their blood. That's
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not really. Like you
All
said,
this vampire talk makes me hungry. I'd go for Italian.
yeah.
Speaking of which, where's Enzo? Speaking of which, where the fuck is Enzo? Good point.
Not really. But what did you like it too? I can see the fucking payoff. Remember, because she says, "Okay, listen, here's the fucking pact. If you help me kill him, I'll let you go and see your daughter. Also, I'm too weak." And remember, as he's fucking draining Abigail and she's impaled with the stick. And I'll tell you one thing: when she got fucking impaled, I could feel that shit in his shoulder blade. Like,
Yeah.
and then he's pulling out slowly. But of course, the Abigail, and that's what I'm saying with the payoff there. She looks over,
Yeah.
she's like this, like the pinky.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
But yeah, I mean, it's yeah,
Yeah.
it was good. It subverted my expectations a lot near the end. Okay, fair enough. But
Yeah.
I think also Fright Night is derivative of Dracula as well, though, I believe.
Yeah.
So but yeah, I liked it. Again, I don't think she would have walked out of there the way that she did. I think she would have been fucked up. I mean, she definitely didn't look like she was in her
Yeah.
Sunday's best, but she definitely was not as fucked up as she should have been for the amount of damage she takes. But that's, you know what?
I figured,
It's
remember, because he by him biting her, he healed her.
is that how you took it? I don't know if I took it that way.
Remember when Abigail first bites the one girl, the Ant-Man's daughter, it heals,
Uh-huh.
her fucking arm heals. So it shows that once
Yeah.
you're bitten, you heal. So I took it as like he was fucking her up once he bit her though. And remember, because the whole fucking trope was like, he's like, I want to control you. Remember, Abigail was fucking stabbing him, and she's like, oh, she's like, you think it's that easy to fucking make a puppet? And of course, I do like the
Yeah.
line where they kill him, and she's like, one thing about being a vampire is it takes hundreds of years to unlock the cool shit. So
Yeah. No, that was good. No, that's
Yeah.
fine. I don't mind that. I also liked you know, when you have these kind of movies and you got to have a vampire die, you have to come up with a new and interesting way for the vampires to die.
yeah,
And these vampires die very explosively and suddenly,
like a lot.
almost like they're fucking hit with a claymore mine or something.
Dude, every time they
you know.
fucking exploded, I was like, God damn.
Yeah, that was great.
Holy shit.
That was really great. I was
Yeah.
very happy with that.
Yeah, every time the vampires get killed, I'm like, yeah, like you said, it's like a fucking goddamn grenade went off. I was like, holy
Yeah.
shit,
It's
man.
yeah, it's a big old blood bomb when it happens. And they do it a couple different ways. And
Yeah.
yes, stakes, if enough impact happens and it's in the right spot, they will work.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Also, and sunlight's very fucking effective in this
Right.
movie. Holy shit. Because
Yeah.
like you ever see some vampire movies where sunlight hits them and kind of hurts them? No, these fuckers are hit. We didn't like that. It's like
Right.
holy shit.
But if you don't if they don't get killed all the way, they regenerate. So that's an interesting thing too. It's set up. It could be a pretty good because they blow her arm up.
Yeah,
and then she
not even a big-
regenerates from it.
Not a big twist. Next was like, at one point there's sunlight coming down because she's stalking these guys out throughout the fucking nighttime. The sun's beaming fucking down through a window. She puts her hand out, like Wes said. The second she puts her hand out, the fucking sunlight it instantly fucking lops her arm right off. You're like, holy shit! It's not even. It's like as soon as she taps it, it's like sunlight is very powerful in this movie.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So yeah, I guess the twist is just that Dan Stevens becomes
Yeah.
the villain and in a way Abigail, if not becoming a good guy, at least they have the enemy of my enemy is my friend
Yeah.
type situation near the end.
That's what.
So yeah.
and I've seen that coming in a sense because of the whole Pinky promise
I
at the
didn't.
beginning of the film.
I honestly didn't. Actually,
Oh, yeah.
actually, I was a little surprised. I was a little
Yeah.
surprised.
And
But yeah, no.
at the very end, did you see it coming? Fucking where it's like so. But the premise though, they established that Abigail, she's doing this because remember, Daddy walked away and Daddy doesn't love me, and this
Right.
whole thing, she's been doing this whole fucking ruse the entire film to get her dad's attention. That's the actual fucking plot behind the movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
like,
no,
that's
good
why-
point.
so
That's a good point.
So at the end, I'm like, and then you hear footsteps, dump, 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 and it's like I thought it'd be a major actor. I didn't know who the actor was, but like, oh shit, and this dude wasn't fucking playing, and Abigail
Yeah.
had to stop him fucking from wiping what's her name out there, and he's like, I
Melissa
don't.
Barrera.
I
Yeah.
don't fucking lie. He sniffs her. He's like, okay. He's like, you need to leave soon because it's about to be dinner time. But you had that sense too. As strong as Abigail is, her father, who knows what that fucking dude's capable
Right.
of? Holy shit!
No, it could. I hope it does well, and I hope they get a sequel. I'd be just as happy if they don't, though, if I'm being honest. So
Yeah.
either way, I'm good.
Yeah.
I would love to have another. Melissa. I don't know how they would write it. I know how I would, but it's good, man. It was a good time, and yeah, if you can subvert expectations with me, you've done a pretty good job.
Yeah.
But again, it could be one and done, and I'd be perfectly fine with that.
Yeah, so we do get Abigail's dad, and I'm curious like what that guy can fucking do. He just had like that presence. Like this is not a creature you need to be fucking with.
No. Yeah, he doesn't. It could have been more. I mean, I guess you could argue that he's being built up as far as
Yeah.
like an unseen adversary. So maybe that works, and
Yeah.
I guess it does. Less is more.
Yeah,
So,
like you said, I'm not against the sequel, but if these guys want to do stuff because age is a factor, remember Abigail doesn't age, so the actress does. If you're gonna fucking do something,
yeah, good point.
I don't
Good
want to see her
point.
being 20 years old playing a 12-year-old either.
Sure,
So if
Yeah,
I
because
just
she wouldn't get any older. Yeah, I get it.
yeah, I mean I
Um,
wouldn't mind seeing it again. Damn it. Fucking Instagram.
yeah,
Just
I hear
dude.
you.
It's Instagram
Oh,
for you.
Melissa, love you so much, baby.
Yeah, she
But
has no
yeah,
problem. She has no problem wearing bras and bikinis.
bro, she has no
There we
problem.
go.
Find the Spanish Telemundo show she did that was on Showtime. She has no problem being naked. So
Okay.
well worth your time.
So I
The
need to hear.
sounds of all the yes, she's been naked in a few things, my friends. So and now I can hear
So
the clicking of keyboards. Oh,
God damn it.
so yeah, she's
I'm gonna,
yeah, it's
on.
pretty amazing.
I'm not doing nothing right now. Hold on. All right, yeah, no, thanks Nix and Jay for hanging out. No, I definitely recommend it, guys. Spoilers not a big deal, but it's it is what it is. It's a fun, stupid movie, but I liked it though.
All right,
all right, man. Well, wait, how do you spell Telemundo?
Telemundo.
Yeah,
so yeah, guys, thanks for being with us on this low bar review.
I'm not sure what's the next fucking movie you want to check out. I mean, I know we got Twisters. I think it looks pretty interesting.
You know what? In this, my friend, I always defer to you, unless I catch something on TikTok or something like that. I go with what you say as far as, hey, do you want to go see something? And I don't know. I am myself. I'm going to go check out Ungentlemanly Warfare, even though you said you didn't care for it. But
no, I said it was okay. I just because I'm such a fucking Henry Cavill and Jack Reacher simp. Like they don't have a lot of airtime. That's like whenever you see Jack Reacher, I want more Jack Reacher, and I see.
I get it.
I mean, who can ever get enough of Jack Reacher? So
I can't get enough Melissa Barrera. So as far as that goes,
have you watched a trailer for this movie called Boy Kills World?
Yes, I have.
That comes out next week.
I don't know how seriously I can take that with Archer's voice in that, or the guy from Bob's Burgers. I'm not sure if I can take that super seriously. I think the motorcycle movie, I want to see that. I had too many trailers, but the trailers I saw were good trailers. They're doing a prequel for The Strangers and a couple other things that I thought looked pretty cool. They have a new M. Night Shyamalan movie coming out. I'm not a big fan of his, but it actually looked halfway decent.
They're promoting the fuck out of all the Fall Guy. Any interest in that?
No, I have zero interest in that.
Yeah, I'm seeing
absolutely zero.
How'd you feel about the Planet of the Apes trilogy? Did you like those?
I don't. I've never seen any of them, and I don't plan to.
Right.
I saw the older ones, and I might check out the Woody Harrelson one, but I hate what's his name? What's the guy from the first one?
Oh, James Franco.
I hate James Franco. I can't look at his stupid face.
James Franco's in the second one. I mean, the first one. The second one is I can't remember his name now. Shit, Jason Clarke. And then the third one is Woody Harrelson.
I hate him too.
Yeah.
Jason Clarke. Yeah,
Jesus
those
Christ.
two guys are like, I don't like any of those people, and I don't think that they're ever gonna. I'm not trying to sound like a boomer, but I don't think they're gonna improve upon, because I grew up watching all of the Planet of the Apes movies back in the day. I just don't think it's something that
honestly, I'm not. Wes, if you check it out, I will go rewatch the second time. I'm not against it.
We could do that.
I'm not paying for it.
Yeah.
I'll say next. No, if he wants to do that, I can ask Luke. Maybe Luke could get a chance to see it or something. But
maybe we could get a a British invasion. Maybe if he could get his potato to work, then maybe we could do something like that. But we'll see what happens this weekend. I didn't see anything that's really blown my skirt up anytime soon. I mean, I guess really I'm just waiting for Daredevil, and re-releases is always a fun thing. It has a bar. The panel is army based. I see what you did there. Good wordplay, Nick. Nix, I like it. But man. So that's all we got. Just please, guys, consider, even if you don't get the Regal Unlimited app, You can download the Regal app and you can get points like I do. I will probably continue going this way, and they keep putting out quality films or films that are at least worth
Man,
watching.
dude, the 45th anniversary coming up in 8 days for Alien. Boy.
Oh wow. See, you know what? Can I be honest with you? I am not a big Alien fan. Aliens is so good that I
agree.
just don't see it. You know, I'm kind of looking forward to. You're gonna think I'm crazy. I'm kind of looking forward to Zendaya and Challengers.
Really?
Yeah.
You know what? Again, like,
yeah.
it doesn't like it doesn't look appealing to me. But if you do want to see it for this review, I'll go see it. Fuck it, you know.
Yeah, I like the idea of her being double teamed by a couple of fucking soy boys. I like that. I like that a lot. There's a funny TikTok video running around where they splice Peter Parker walking into her dorm room, and she's getting fucking double teamed by these two guys, and he goes, activate lethal kill or whatever it is that he had on the suit or whatever.
Oh yeah, from fucking Endgame. Yeah.
Yeah. The Mummy is coming out 25th anniversary on the 26th. I will probably do that just because I remember seeing the first one in the theater. I saw the first two in the theater. Actually.
Poor Tom Holland. Oh God. Yeah.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But yeah, I'm not against. We could do Mummy. Could do Ungentlemanly Warfare. We'll figure it out. So.
Yeah. But yeah, not much else is really. You know, if you say, hey, go check this out, I will probably at least consider it. But yeah, I'm looking through my Regal app right now.
Maybe now I should want to go see this now. God.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The thought of her being put on the spit roast is pretty awesome. But yeah, she's gonna get filled out like an application, and I'm here for it all day. But yeah, guys, get that Regal app. We're gonna get Blue Collar a sponsor. Get Regal app, and even if you don't do the unlimited access app, which seems like a pretty good deal if you like going to the movies, you can get the regular Regal app, get points, and you can do you'll get money off of your ticket, and you will get free popcorn and soda, which I did tonight at mine, so it worth it.
See, next, what this is right here, this is fucking Enzo and West. I'm the one holding the camera.
Nice. That's right. You sell yourself short. We'd let you have the third shot. It'd be a little messy. It's going to be a little messy and a little loose, but you know, she has 3 holes for a reason, my friend. So, you know,
here's the last one over. It's like, boy, she really went into this movie. Holy shit.
Yes, she did. Good for her. Good for her, man. We need to wrap this up. I need to go. I need to head back to my room. I got to go to my bunk.
Yeah, next we're not some a couple days, dude. Let's get out of here. But so yeah, check out Abigail. All right.
Check out Abigail and check out the Regal app.
All right. Yeah, yet. I'll see you guys later. I said yet.